2026 has forged a paradigm shift across the American motorsports ecosystem. From the high-banked asphalts of the NASCAR National Series to the rutted technical clay of Ohio's premier sprint car facilities, the racing industry is experiencing an era defined by economic friction, unprecedented talent pipelines, and fierce institutional rivalries. On the pavement, veteran champions are battling to secure their relevance against a wave of developmental phenoms, highlighted by the strategic masterclasses at North Wilkesboro and the rapid ascension of dirt prodigies into elite stock car machinery. However, the most visceral drama is unfolding on the dirt. The sprint car landscape is currently fractured by high-stakes civil war between the established World of Outlaws and the aggressively expanding high-limit racing series. This division has catalyzed a financial arms race, elevating purses and empowering drivers, while simultaneously creating a localized vacuum where grassroots institutions like Fremont Speedway and Attica Raceway Park are producing teenagers capable of toppling million-dollar national operations. The roar of the engines in 2026 tells a story of shifting loyalties, historic milestones, and a sport evolving at breakneck speeds. As always, I'm Russ Fritz.
And I'm Nathan Johns.
We tell you to put that visor down and get those tear-offs ready, because this isn't just racing.
This is Switching Grooves.
Nathan, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great, Russ. Great North Wilkesboro weekend. Nice throwback race. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild weekend, I guess. I mean, you've got high limit, the double down duels slash Joker's jackpot at Eldora, along with the King's Royal, and just before that, at the beginning of the week on the dirt, we had the Brad Doty Classic on Tuesday at Attica, and the high limit race at Fremont on Monday. So it's been basically an entirely new speed week all over again, except less traveling. So,
oh yeah,
I love this sport, man. Dirt racing, I'm sorry to say to you, but dirt racing is where it's at, man.
I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of it out here. We're getting ready for the high limits here at Lernerville, so I'm excited about it. But unfortunately, I will not be there tomorrow. We have a wedding we're supposed to be going to, which is the wildest thing I've ever heard of. But unfortunately,
Up,
I will not be at Lernerville. I haven't even seen Jason's yet. I haven't pulled mine up.
He said, "Hey guys, good evening." Nathan.
Hi, Jason. Sorry, I was responding to somebody.
Nathan, I do have plans to have Jason join us next week as long as he would like to. I've been telling him I'm going to get him back on, so I want to let him do his thing.
I mean, it is Indy week, so I don't mind. He's probably better on site than any of us because he'll be closer.
Exactly.
I was watching the Facebook comments because you've got the YouTube ones.
And I've got all the comments pulled up in the app right here that I can see both of them. So
I got to find a way to make that work on mine.
Oh my goodness, dueling's on here.
Oh no. I can't even see his comments.
So I gotta say I jumped back into something I never expected I would ever do. As
Oh no.
I was tired of the bullshit, and I didn't miss it at all.
Oh
And
sure.
a local track, like I said, Great Lakes Speedway had me come flag a race for them a couple of weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. There was no bullshit. It was actually a pretty good night. And the track owner, I shouldn't say the owner, the track promoter, um, has had my back the entire time. He lets me do what I need to do and run the show how I need to run the show. And he gives me exactly what I want. So I want to thank Chad Berger for that. But also, the promoters of Fremont Raceway Park Dirt Track called me to help come straighten some stuff out. And I never in a million years thought that I was ever going to get back into this. So,
Oh no.
um, overall, pretty good show. I was not on the flag stand, but I was the race director, so I was in charge of everything, made the final calls. Uh, Only a couple of hiccups on my part. I missed an entire call because I was watching another person that was driving like an asshole all night. And this was in the feature, so I missed two other guys getting together at the front of the pack, and that kind of upset the guy that ended up spun out and put to the tail. But I had to go with what the officials called since I didn't see it, and the officials said that they didn't see that it was dirty. So, um, unfortunately, the guy that got charged with the caution did. And if it was dirty, I apologized for missing it.
I'm
But
enjoying Jason's comment.
I can't see everything all at one time. So unfortunately, I try to watch the people I know that are driving kind of crappy or rough. So, and I didn't think I'd have to watch these two guys, but unfortunately, I guess next time I'm going to have to. So,
Oh no.
um, you live and learn. You make a mistake, you learn from it, and you fix it and move on. Um, got a big race at Great Lakes this weekend. Run what you run, box stock, junior box stock, kid carts, I believe. So it'll be a good show this Saturday. If anyone wants to come out and watch go kart racing, come to Great Lakes Speedway in Bellevue, Ohio, or um, check out Fremont Raceway Park in Fremont, Ohio. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Uh, it went better than I think it's the best race I've ever had because I just I'm not willing to put up with anything anymore. And I don't do it for me. I don't do it for the spotlight. I don't do it for the money. I didn't even do Fremont for the promoters. I did that for the racers because I did go watch a race there the week before they called me, and it was entirely out of hand. Uh, Drivers going to the flag stand, arguing with the flagman calling people really bad names or screaming and cussing at people. And I'm sorry, but you have no place to do that. I don't care how mad a driver makes you or what they say to you. You do not do what I saw going on there. It was very, very, very unprofessional, and I do not agree with it. And if that person is ever flagging while I'm in charge, I'll tell him to pack his stuff up and go home, and I'll go up there and do it my own self. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. I'm not going to deal with that. You don't call the drivers MFers and this, that, and the other. You just don't do that. Very, very unprofessional. So,
Sorry,
it
I was
just,
giving our shout out to
yeah.
our
No,
followers that are waving.
I was reading the comments there first. I was just glancing at them.
I was
So,
having
yeah,
fun with
you
it.
just don't do that. And I won't put up with that. I won't put up with any crap from either the drivers or my officials. That is not going to fly with me. And any drivers that are watching this right now, you can hold me to that. because the way I was before I left the sport a couple of years ago, um, things are totally different. My head is in a little bit better place because I had a lot of personal issues going on back then, and now I'm set. I'm ready to go, and you know I want to be the very, very best that I can be in this industry, and I wasn't good at driving. So, I mean, I was okay driver. I'm not saying I was, but I wasn't no Kyle Larson kind of driver, or, some of the local drivers that can actually get their crap together. I just didn't have it, but I do have it as an official, and I'm not going to put up with the bullshit. So, thank you to the Does for bringing me in and allowing me to do what I do, and that I feel that I'm very good at. And again, like I said, anybody that I may have missed a call or something didn't work out quite the way it should have, I apologize. It's my first race back calling a major show. I mean, yeah, the Great Lakes thing, but it was only one class, two classes. It wasn't nothing, but I will do my very, very best for all the drivers. I do this for the drivers. I came back for the drivers because they needed somebody to take charge. Nobody wanted to take responsibility for anything. And then the blame was being shifted all over the goddamn place. And I'm gonna tell you what, if I screw up, I'll tell you I screwed up. And I believe I did that with the driver I was talking about earlier that I missed a call with. So it happens. I'm human. I appreciate him understanding. After he calmed down, we had a good talk, and I appreciate that. So that's the way I want things to be. We all got to play together. We're a big team, and all I ask is the drivers to help me help them. That way we can get a good show, a clean show, and a quick show. We want to get in. We want to get the hell out. So you know, I will do my very best at that. So thank you all again for allowing me to come back and help you. And thank you to the drivers for welcoming me. I know there's been a lot of bad history, so I appreciate all that. Now, do you have anything that you need to say?
I need to give a shout out. I know that this wasn't planned, but I need to give a shout out to Hendrick Motorsports Used Auto Parts. We managed to get our hands on not one, but two of the new pieces that are in our backdrop tonight. I know one of them's not really visible, but we managed to score two pieces from the race we went to in San Diego to cover on site for the San Diego Naval Base race. So I'm very excited about it. I don't know how to pull it up in the background or how to pull them up to show you, but we've got the wrong hand. We've got the left side quarter panel, and then somewhere over here is the I can't figure out the hands. I'll get this figured out. Over there's the left front. So I'm very excited about those. I finally have all my sheet metal somewhat on display. So I'm very excited to have my NASCAR backdrop kind of set up.
So where did you get all those?
Hendrick Motorsports website. They actually have weekly auctions, and I was very excited to be able to show those off. They were also an anniversary gift to me and my wife from me, so it was kind of fun. Those are from the San Diego car.
So James Crow replied to what I was talking about. He was actually a driver. I didn't want to throw his name out there, but without him, saying anything or being okay with it. But obviously he's okay with it. So, James, like I said, I appreciate your understanding, man. Like I said, it's tough to see everything at once, and I went with what my officials told me, and we did discuss before racing who was going to watch what part of the group. I had two people watching the front, two people watching the back, and I was watching whoever I felt that I needed to watch to try to make it a fair and a clean show. So um, when you got shit plowed or into the tires by the other guy, at the back of the pack, that was not going to fly with me. And it was a 2 caution rule, but I was not going to charge you with that caution because he just completely screwed you. And I didn't like that. I should have just, to be honest with you, I should have just thrown him off the racetrack for that, if you ask me. But
It seems we are having technical difficulties right now. I'm having problems with Russ. So if anybody else has problems, he will be back shortly. But I know he was addressing an issue on track. Oh no!
I run my show. He sits back and he does what a promoter needs to do. So
I don't know what that was all
hopefully
about.
going forward, though, we can. Unfortunately, you must have lost connection or somebody said no connection. So
It on your end, it did the same
unfortunately
thing.
I don't know. Unfortunately for the next race at Fremont, I am not going to be able to be there because I do have prior commitments with Great Lakes. So that sucks, and I hate to see that. I really, really just ask all of you drivers out there to please do what we did last time. I'm not saying if you were rough driving to do that, but I'm saying, please, let's have the show that we had last time. I shouldn't have to be there every single second. So if you can do that, I appreciate that, and I will be back as soon as I can. I believe that I'm on the stand actually for the 15th of August, so I look forward to doing that. But with all that bullshit out of the way, I will get right into the dirt stuff. So, well, before I forget, I got to give a shout out to the Chaz. I got to give a shout out to the Chaz. I met him at Fremont Speedway on Monday.
That was pretty cool.
I never thought I would ever run into that guy, especially at Fremont or Attica,
That was pretty cool to see that photo.
He was at Attica. I didn't get to see him at Attica. I was kind of running a little late, so I didn't get to see him down here. But thank you, Chaz, for stopping and chatting with me for a few minutes, man. It was pretty cool.
We got to get him on sometime. That'd be kind of cool.
I told him that. Yeah, I told him I want to get him on here, but so keep doing what you do, man. It's fun to watch, and hopefully we can be on each other's episodes sometime. So, but the landscape.
Don't forget about me.
That's what I said, on each other's episode. He can
I want to get on his episode too. I'm just having fun over here.
What I mean, like we could both join his. Okay. Anyway, but the landscape of 410's wing sprint car racing in 2026 is defined by an institutional rivalry that borders on a civil war. The emergence and aggressive expansion of high-limit racing, owned by NASCAR superstar Kyle Larson and 5-time World of Outlaws champion Brad Sweet, as well as one-time champion, high-limit champion, has directly challenged the historic monopoly held by the World Racing Group's World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. This rivalry actually extends far beyond track presence. It is a fundamental economic and broadcasting battle, mind you. High-limit racing, actually backed by a lucrative streaming deal with Flow Racing, expanded to a 60-race national schedule this year, boasting over $5.8 million in prize money. Now, that's outrageous, but I believe it's good for the sport. Conversely, the World of Outlaws remains aligned with Dirt Vision because they own it and relies on its historical prestige and deeply entrenched track relationships, we'll say. But the friction between WRG, World Racing Group CEO Brian Carter, and Brad Sweet has been highly public. And this is with intense debates centering on whether the market can actually sustain two national tours and requiring 50 to 70 races each without spreading the fan attendance and driver rosters way too thin. So the second order of effect, though, of this division has actually been highly beneficial for the competitors. The influx, we'll say, of capital has actually forced both series to evaluate purses and elevate purses as necessary to create revenue sharing models. High Limit introduced what they call the High Roller Club, a charter system currently kind of like NASCAR. It currently pays $2.6 million to a 10 card roster, which are teams that are holding those cards in 2026. This is actually supplemented by a $105,000 winner bonus pool, which rewards the 5 most winning teams regardless of their charter status. So this year, Ridge & Sons Racing currently leads this pool. Silva Motorsports is slated to earn a $30,000 bonus for the second most wins. This economic pressure actually empowers the drivers to choose schedules that maximize their earnings, fundamentally altering the power and the dynamics of the sport. So the 2026 Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing season has actually evolved into a 2-horse race, per se, for the national championship between Rico Abreu and Aaron Reitzel. Abreu piloting the number 24, which was actually the number 14 in a throwback to Tony Stewart this past week. He leads the standings with 1,533 points. He's secured 4 wins and 22 top 10 finishes across 26 races. That is very, very, very impressive. Reitzel, driving the number 87 for Ridge & Sons Racing, actually trails only by 22 points. That's pretty close if you consider. He boasts a series-leading 7 victories, and that includes a win at Butler Motor Speedway after missing the podium in 3 consecutive races. So the series within a series, though, the Roto-Rooter Midweek Money Series, is currently commanded by Brett Marks. Now, driving the Brett Marks Racing LLC entry, Marks has utilized incredible consistency, which is 6 top 5s and 9 starts, to edge out Abreu and Reitzel into midweek standings. The marquee event of the High Limit season occurred on July 16th, though, at the legendary Eldora Speedway. So this was the 3rd annual Joker's Jackpot. It paid a staggering $100,000 to the winner. And Kyle Larson, pulling double duty with his NASCAR obligations, charged past Rico Abreu and Corey Day to secure his 2nd consecutive Joker's Jackpot victory. This actually is his 6th career 6-figure victory in sprint car racing, and Larson's ability to seamlessly drop into midweek high limit events for driving for Paul Silva and dominate the field actually remains a huge draw for Flow Racing's viewership and the metrics and a testament to his generational talent. So while High Limit is actually capturing headlines with massive single event payouts, the world of Outlaws continues to field a grueling, hyper-competitive roster characterized by intense rivalries and technical mastery. David Gravel, driving the Big Game Motorsports number 2, currently dictates the World of Outlaws standings, utilizing a staggering consistency that includes an 8-race top 10 streak early this season. Gravel has actually embraced a villain persona on the tour, frequently clashing with competitors, while Carson Macedo and Buddy Kofoid remain locked in a tight battle for 2nd and 3rd. Kofoid has established himself as a formidable force initiating a heated rivalry with Tyler Courtney following a last lap wreck at Hauptstadt, where Kofoid publicly called out Courtney's aggressive tactics. Now, a major tectonic shift in the World of Outlaws paddock for 2026 was actually shutting number 17 to join the KCP Racing number 18. Now, Hodenshield, who actually boasts 46 career World of Outlaws victories, brought his renowned crew chief Kyle Ripper along with him. KCP Racing, founded in 2013 by Brett Nearing and Matthew Barbara, has actually a history of developing top talent, having fielded Kevin Gobrick Rookie of the Year winners Ian Madsen and Gio Stelzy. Hodenshield, known for his fearless rim riding style and his historic 10-second margin of victory at the 2019 Ironman 55, has added massive firepower to the KCP stable, securing early podiums and maintaining a top 5 presence in the championship points. But the absolute crown jewel of the World of Outlaws summer schedule is the Kings Royal at Eldora Speedway. Well, the 43rd running of the Kings Royal actually took place on July 18th, just this past week. And it offered a $200,000 payday and produced an instant classic that will actually be analyzed for years. Anthony Macri actually entered the event, continuing a miraculous comeback. Just months prior, we all know, a violent crash while leading a feature at Williams Grove actually left Macri with a compression fracture in his T4 and T5 vertebrae in his back, and it's his second severe back injury in 7 months. So, a huge comeback for Macri. Starting from the pole for the 40-lap main event, he actually paced the opening dozen laps. The track surface at Eldora actually demanded absolute precision, and on lap 13, Garrett Williamson executed a flawless slide job in turn 1 to take the lead away, and he had to navigate through some heavy lap traffic. But Macri bided his time riding the bottom, while Williamson actually committed to the treacherous upper cushion, which wasn't a whole lot. But on lap 38, Macri actually found traction on the low side and pulled even with Williamson in turn 1 and cleared him for the lead coming out of turn 2. So a caution on the final lap for a stalled Spencer Basin actually set up a tense green-white checkered restart. And Macri held off a hard-charging Rico Abreu to cross the finish line first, becoming the only the second driver in history to win the Kings Royal in consecutive years. So Macri's victory celebrated with the traditional crowning and cloaking of Royal Sovereign David Argabright. I always mess that up. That cements his legacy as one of the elite half-mile racers of his generation. It also serves as a testament to the sheer depth of talent currently operating within the World of Outlaws ranks, proving that the series remains the ultimate crucible for dirt track supremacy. But while the national tours like NASCAR, High Limit, and the World of Outlaws command the prime media landscape, the structural health of American motorsports relies entirely on regional ecosystems. The Ohio Circuit, specifically the symbolic relationship between Attica Raceway Park and Fremont Speedway, serves as the premier proving ground for 410 sprint car talent in Ohio. This regional dominance is governed primarily by the Attica Fremont Championship Series, AFCS, a grueling schedule that tests the mechanical endurance and financial viability of local teams. Now, founded in 1988 by Eric Phillips, John Martin, and Larry Keegan, Attica Raceway Park has evolved from a local Friday night track into a nationally recognized facility. The track is famous for introducing the 305 Sprint Car Division to Ohio, a vital feeder class that sustains regional car counts and cultivates young talent. Attica's marquee event is the Ohio Logistics Brad Doty Classic, a World of Outlaws sanctioned race that honors the legacy of the legendary driver whose career was tragically cut short in 1988. The 38th annual running of the event on July 14th produced what was universally considered the biggest upset in modern World of Outlaws history. Defending race winner Carson Macedo controlled the early portion of the 40-lap feature before 16. Kyle Larson seeking a record-tying fourth Brad Doty Classic victory, which would equal Donnie Scott's record, 3, with a massive slide job. But Larson was flirting with disaster, riding the high side, and the physical toll of Attica's clay began to show. With just 8 laps remaining, Larson actually hit a heavy, unforgiving rut or clot in the cushion in turns 3 and 4, and it sent his number 57 machine flipping. So, I mean, big Larson fan, but he was flirting with disaster, and he said it was his own fault, so I don't have to tell him again. But Lucius, making only his 19th career World of Outlaws start and driving just his 3rd night in the family-owned number 32 car after parting ways with STP Motorsports in May, actually inherited the lead. The teenager displayed a staggering veteran poise over the final 8 laps, and he navigated lap traffic in the final corner to hold off Outlaw stalwart Logan Schuchart, securing that $20,000 victory in front of a standing room only hometown crowd that you could barely even hear anything else over. Lucius became the 157th different winner in World of Outlaws history, proving that intimate local track knowledge at highly technical facilities, massive financial gap against million-dollar national operations. But just a short drive from Attica, Fremont Speedway is celebrating a very monumental milestone this year. Its 75th diamond anniversary. Founded in 1951 at the Sandusky County Fairgrounds, Fremont has curated a decades-themed schedule for 2026 under the promotional guidance of Rich Farmer. The celebrations culminate in massive payouts, including staggering $75,000 total purse, $20,000 to win All-Star Circuit of Champions event to honor its birthday. The national spotlight also shined on Fremont Speedway on July 13th, when the facility hosted the Hollywood Casino Toledo high-stakes showdown for the high-limit racing Roto-Rooter midweek series. Brett Marks finally shed his bridesmaid status for the season, leading all 35 laps of the feature to claim his first career victory at the track that Action built, and his first high-limit racing win of the year. Marks bested a loaded field, with Justin Peck finishing second. Aaron Reitzel actually charged from 13th to 3rd. Kerry Madsen took 4th, and Gio Scelzi rounded out the top 5. The victory ultimately propelled Marks to the top of the midweek series point standings. And the weekly competition at both Fremont and Attica is governed by the AFCS, which has been utterly dominated by Cap Henry in 2026. Henry, piloting the 33W for Jeff Ward, has showcased such overwhelming speed that promoters were forced to implement the Attica Challenge, a rule that requires the previous week's winner to start 8th in the A-Main if they transfer. But despite this handicap during the June 26th event at Attica, Henry methodically picked his way through the field. He banged wheels with Larry Kingsley Jr. entering turn 1 while trying to get through lap traffic, and he eventually took the lead on lap 22 to secure his 4th track win of the year and the $1,000 challenge bonus. So as of mid-season, Cap Henry sits in a tight battle with Caleb Henry and Zeth Sabo for the AFCS 410 standings lead. In the 305 sprint ranks, veteran Brian Zabito maintains a commanding presence, leveraging decades of experience to fend off Jamie Miller and Steve Rando. This actually proves that the feeder system established by Attica in the late 80s continues to yield highly competitive, sustainable racing. Similarly, the dirt truck division is anchored by Sean Valeni and Keith Sorg, ensuring that the heavy fendered support classes provide vital entertainment value to the local fan base. Although the midseason point battles are intense, the most shocking silly season development of July and 2026 involves a major roster shakeup at Demian Redzik Racing. Despite a strong start to the 2026 campaign, including in April, he had a 410 feature victory at Attica Raceway Park and a solid showing during Ohio Speedway. Cale Thomas and the Redzik Racing number 49X team actually unexpectedly parted ways. Filling the highly coveted seat is rising Ohio star Zeth Sabo. Sabo has been on an absolute tear recently, capturing massive momentum by securing his first career All-Star Circuit of Champions victory at Sharon Speedway, and following it up with another massive Speedway victory in the finale at Wayne County on Saturday while piloting the Rich Farmer-owned number 29Z. Sabo's transition into the powerhouse Redzik Racing 49X instantly elevates his status from a regional threat to a primary contender capable of challenging for victories consistently across the national and regional sprint car landscapes. So that was pretty interesting. I didn't think that would happen. It sucks for Cale. I consider Cale a friend of mine. We were talking on the phone the other day, so good luck to him. I hope he finds a ride and finds one soon. And I can't wait to see him back on the track. As for Zeth Sabo, good luck to you moving forward. And, we'll see what you can do. Give him hell, man. Other than that, that's all I got for the dirt track. Nathan, we'll leave it up to you for NASCAR.
We got to go.
What?
Go ahead.
We'll start with the truck series, okay? Start from the bottom up.
Okay. Well, we got to go way back to 1996 to have the last time we had points racing for the Cup Series on North Wilkesboro, but you only got to go back to last year for the Truck Series race. I will say this was one of the more I feel like it's one of the more star-studded truck races I've seen. We had Rocket Man Ryan Newman in the field. We had SVG in the field. We all obviously had Carson Hocevar. When is he not in the field? We had a pretty heavy-hitting field when it came to, we'll call it Craftsman Whackers, since we can't do Bushwhackers for this series. But it was definitely an interesting race. I thought there was going to be a little bit more drama between Heim and I think it was Honeycutt and Heim, but maybe I have that wrong. Yeah, I think I have that wrong from last year. But last year we had all kinds of drama towards the end of the race. This one really wasn't as much drama. I mean, Carson Hocevar dropped out due to cooling issues, from my understanding. Rocket Man Ryan Newman really didn't do a whole lot in the field. And now I'm drawing a blank on who the winner was. It was the 34 car truck, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just drawing a blank. Of course, the NASCAR app is updating. The one highlight that I could rattle off from this race that had me baffled is SVG
and Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith, that's who it was. I couldn't get it pulled up fast enough. Chandler Smith, really, yeah. Thank you, Jason. I feel like Chandler Smith is kind of just he's the level of Corey Heim when it comes to the truck series. Oh, there we go. There's a better look at all the sheet metal. I feel like Chandler Smith has been in the truck series for far too long. He really wasn't, I would say, great in the O'Reilly series. I don't think he did very many starts in the O'Reilly series, but I feel like he's kind of finding a home in the truck series. I'm hoping that his performance will get better for him. But, I mean, he's a front row truck. Their front row seems to be dominating the truck series lately. Like, Thor Sport used to be good. And then before that, I think they had KVM. And then before that, they had Kevin Harvick Incorporated. I mean, they're just kind of, I feel like it runs by team. I do want to talk about the, I wouldn't say upset of the weekend, but the underdog of the weekend. SVG finished third on a short track, which we'll get more to him here shortly. But that was the surprise of the weekend for me, was SVG running third on a short track. Which this is like only his, second or third time at the track, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely a career weekend for him, especially in the truck series, because not a road course, in case nobody's noticed. Yes, there goes the assist for Jason. I'll give him a shout out for that one. The truck series race was exciting, but it wasn't really, like, I guess, above the normal for their truck series racing. I mean, we had, what was it? I forget the guy's name, but guy running the number 4 truck. He had an issue this week and ended up getting medical attention. I saw after the race, after his spin, I think it was stage 1. So they had a replacement driver in there. I forget who replaced it. I watched the truck race, but it was kind of sporadic. So I don't have a whole lot to cover on that one. The Cup race, I do have a lot that I need to cover. Do you have anything you want to add in before I go to Cup, Russ?
I didn't watch any of it, so I'm leaving it up to you. But I don't get TNT, and I'm not paying for 100 subscriptions.
I'll move on to the truck series, or onto the Cup series. First time that they've run a points race in the Cup series at North Wilkesboro since 1996. The vibe definitely seemed electric there. I mean, they had the manual scoreboard, which is kind of cool to see them doing that. Definitely a grueling 450 laps at or not 450 laps. I think it was 450 miles at what was it, 450? I lost track of what it was. Either way, it was a grueling race at North Wilkesboro this weekend. I thought it was kind of cool to see them, drivers battling the heat. It was, 450 laps. I was right. Okay. I always thought the 600 was 400 laps. That's why I was wrong. But just, it was really dominated by people you wouldn't expect all year. We had Carson Hocevar being up front. Ty Gibbs, he's been kind of here and there. Joey Logano, who has been MIA for the majority of the season. I mean, we finished with 6 cars at a lead lap. Only 10 were 1 lap down, or a minimum of 1 lap down. Everybody from 11th back was at least 2, which is, I feel like that's typical short track racing, but still bizarre that, we only had 6 cars in a lead lap. We haven't seen that in what feels like forever. Story of the weekend, Joey Logano breaks the drought and has to have one of the coolest burnouts I've ever seen Joey do. But at the same time, he's the second one to do it. For those who haven't seen, Joey Logano did the burnout from the start-finish line to the backstretch, picked up his kid, and then did the rest of the burnout around the track. Shades of Kyle Larson, which I thought was cool, but, he didn't pick up his kids on the backstretch, which was still kind of... The interview I saw in Door Bumper Clear was pretty funny. I do have to laugh. Victory Lane, I was a bit blinded. The glare got me. It was semi-funny. But I do need to talk about the historic weekend for SVG and Trackhouse. Yes, Connor Zilic and Kyle Larson, had contact at pit road. That's nothing new for Connor Zilic. He's rookie year from hell has continued. Ross Chastain really wasn't a factor during the race. If anything, he was more lap traffic than anything else. But SVG led laps for a good chunk of the race, finished second, and I believe it was stage 2. Yes, Mr. Clean spokesperson, I like that one. I finished second, I believe it was in stage 2, only to Ty Gibbs, who got a speeding penalty on pit road, and then was absolute, wasn't there. I got to give a shout out to SVG, because that was probably the closest we've seen to, an upset in a long time. Everybody needs to start worrying about SVG, because if he gets a hold of one of these oval races, we may not be talking the same story the next week. If SVG wins an oval race, we're screwed.
Force.
What is it?
SVG is going to be dangerous.
He's going to be a threat.
On a competitive level.
Yes, I've. As long as Austin Hill doesn't get in his way, it's a ticking time bomb for when he's going to rattle off one of these oval wins, and he's going to figure out this Rubik's cube of how to win an oval race, and we're all in trouble. So I'm excited for this, but it's only a matter of time until we're watching the SVG Cup Series. It's no longer going to be a NASCAR series. It's going to be an SVG series, because he's just going to keep, hurting on the field. And it's going to start getting boring really quick, because it's going to be shades of Jimmy Johnson all over again, which is still funny to me. But yeah, there was lots of shakeups during this race. I mean, like I said, Ty Gibbs, beat SVG the line for the stage win, and then sped on pit road and threw it all away. You had Bowman and Reddick getting into it with not Corey Heim. I forget who's in the 7 now. Not Haley. Either way, completely uninvolved with the race, almost getting screwed on pit road. I gotta look and see who the 7 was now, because now I don't remember. Dang, it's that far down. No, 71 is McDowell.
Oh.
Who the heck was the 7? Oh, Suarez. Duh. Suarez almost got screwed on pit road. As the 4 came off pit road, I thought it was the Reddick moved up to avoid Gregson coming off pit road. And it turned out that this 48 was trying to pit and just cleared himself across the 45's nose, putting himself in the wall. I mean, Reddick, if he's had a good stretch to start the year, now he went from being close to first place to now he's 68 points back. He's only like 12 points, or not 12 points. Yeah, he's only, 19 points ahead of third place. So we went from, being sure he's going to win the championship, he's that far ahead, to now he's in danger of falling to third in the chase standings. I mean, it's not looking good for Tyler Reddick right now. He just keeps sliding. It's not a question of will he make the chase. It's a question of how far back will he slide into the chase. Start of the year great, definitely struggling. I'm very, very much concerned. He needs a glass of Ovaltine. Yeah, that's a good one. I gotta give a shout out to one of my. I was reading his comment. Oh, I like that. I like that. I do need to do one more quote from SVG, because it shows, even in the heat of battle, he has a sense of humor. Took the lead from Denny Hamlin as he comes to start-finish line. All right, I'm the leader. Now what the fuck do I do? And the crew chief, I believe it's the crew chief or the spotter, goes, just go straight. Which might have been the funniest quote of the entire race, in my opinion. That was super funny to hear that during the race. Other than the fan quotes that I was hearing, there was quite a few references I heard during that race. But that might have been one of the funnier radioactive moments I've heard. I mean, there was no quotes out of Connor Zilich's crew. You could just hear the dejection in that one. So that was pretty funny. Hearing how you just can't comment. They just know it's nothing but problems. But yeah, do I think North Wilkesboro was a good race? I think it was. I mean, I don't think that it was a bad race. I think it was a decent points race. I think once we start getting to more of a crunch time, say we put it closer to, cutoff time, I think it would be way better, because short tracks are known for beating and banging. there wasn't a whole lot of beating and banging. I mean, pit road was small. You couldn't really hear your spotter. But I feel like if they moved it a little bit later in the year to when the chase cutoff was, I feel like that's when you would get the drama of the short tracks. I feel like it's a little too early for the panic. I believe I misspoke last week with the in-season tournament. I thought that Hamlin had moved on. That was not the case. Bell beat Hamlin. So this week it was Elliott versus the Todd father, Todd Gilliland, which I still think is the funniest reference I've heard, versus Blaney and Bell. And obviously Ryan Blaney beat Bell to go on to the finals. Todd Gilliland, the Todd father, knocks off the fan favorite Chase Elliott to it's going to be an all-Ford final at Indy this week. I did not have that on my bingo card, especially how Ford started the year. Chevy's not much better, but it was all Toyotas. And now we have no Toyotas in the final, which is absolutely insane to me. It shows that Chevy's kind of catching up. Ford is kind of catching up, but Ford definitely has an edge over Chevy currently. So, it is an even year. We could see a Joey Logano rattle off another, ridiculous points stretch, over the coming races and put himself in contention to win the championship by some means. It is an even year, but you never know. I'm excited to see Indy, how it goes, but I'm not expecting, a whole lot of the unusual. We are back on the oval this year. I think they got rid of the oval last year, or got rid of the road course last year. So I am kind of excited to see how the oval goes this year. But then again, I feel like Indy is kind of just dropped off a little bit in excitement from when they went from the oval to the road course, now road course back to oval. I personally not sure how I feel about it. I'm excited to see how the rest of the points goes, but I don't know. I did see Jason's thing about 5 races in 4 days, which is absolutely insane. I kind of wish I had knew that. Yeah, 5 races in 4 days is wild. That sounds like Ohio Speed Week here. And then the Kiwiinator is a definitely one that I not sure I've thought of, but that's a good one. I like that, Jason. I'm trying to find your comment in here. There's so many of them. I do want to point this out, and one of the fans at San Diego pointed this out, and it's stuck with me ever since. Every time Joey Logano gets out of the car, he doesn't have his glasses on, but he has glasses on during the race. So the moment he wins the race, takes those glasses off, gets off without them. So not only do we have the Mr. Clean, but we have the I forget what the movie was, but where Macaulay Culkin is laying in the casket, and the girl goes, "Where's his glasses?
My girl.
He needs his glasses."
My girl.
Somebody from San Diego brought that reference up, and I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I definitely enjoyed that reference. That one made me laugh because now I've been watching for it, and it makes me laugh. So definitely some funny memes that have been going around out there when it comes to Joey Logano. Some of these are just they're too funny for me. I forgot. I do need to mention this. What is going on in NASCAR currently? Post race, we had obviously the Joey Logano burnout, but then we have Denny Hamlin showing mad sportsmanship towards Denny Hamlin after they had I wouldn't say a heated battle, but Denny kept Joey honest. But I'm not sure how to react to Denny having sportsmanship towards Joey. I don't know if the fumes were getting to him and he thought he was still his teammate. But this isn't 2009 anymore, Denny. I was quite stunned at the level of sportsmanship that came from Denny post-race to Joey. Yeah. Can't quite figure that one out. It was definitely out of character for Denny. So I don't know how to react to that one yet. It's not sure what I watched. It was a weird race. I mean, I guess in general it was weird. We had SVG leading laps, looking competitive for once at an oval. You got Denny Hamlin showing sportsmanship towards somebody that he makes fun of because short track racing. Still one of my favorite quotes. Yeah, I don't know what I watched. Maybe somebody can explain that one to me.
I don't know what the hell you watch either.
I mean, to be fair, I finally got Flow Racing to watch Lucas in the High Limit series. I didn't get Dirt Vision yet. I am still debating if I want to. Um, but I don't know. Watching Eldora was kind of fun on Flow. I had a few friends that had gone out to race that race. That was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the NASCAR schedule, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Why Denny's all of a sudden kind of just, I don't know. Obviously, Tyler Reddick's just blah anymore because he's dropping like a rock.
Oh
He
hell
could
yeah,
wear.
that'd be awesome.
I was
If
trying to read
I
what
don't
it
even have
said.
one.
I was trying to read what it says.
So and yeah, I'm gonna throw that in there. Um, it's it's actually in the link. There's a link in the description. But if you want more NASCAR content, um, visit our friend over at Aztronics on YouTube. AZTRONICS Aztronics.
I gotta go get that because I don't
Visit
think I have
Philip's
that yet.
page it, and you will enjoy his content. He does all NASCAR, so don't forget to visit our friends over there. I'm not real good at these shout outs like this for other pages because I've never done it before. But yes, visit our friend Philip over at Aztronics YouTube page. There's a link in the description. Just copy the link, paste it, and it'll take you right to his page. So uh, thank you for your support of us, Philip, and we will try to continue the same.
I had
So
to go subscribe because I didn't even know about that yet. Shows how much communication I get. I'm having fun with it though. But yeah, in season tournament championship's gonna be Ryan Blaney versus Todd Gillen, the Todd father. I know my picks, Russ. Who do you think will win this one?
in
Who do you
Indy,
think's winning? Who do you think will win the $1 million between Ryan Blaney and Todd Gilliland?
oh Blaney for sure.
That's what I would have said. I'm curious what Jason's is. I'm sure he'll have to put it in the comments. But I am kind of curious who you think Jason is going to win the in-season tournament. If you're on the same page as me and Russ, or if you think the Todd father, will pull it off. Who do you? Who I know you don't watch a whole lot of NASCAR, Russ, but who do you think will do the best at Indy this week when it comes to the field? Who are ones to watch? Do you think?
Well, definitely Hamlin. Man, I haven't watched much here to really say. I mean, Blaney, Hamlin. I think Bill is going to do pretty decent.
I
Basically, mainly all your top dogs, but I'm curious to see what Logano's going to do. I mean, you haven't heard much out of him this year or seen much out of him, so
was about to get to that. Oh, I must have lost connection somehow. There we go. I think I'm still here.
but yeah, you're here. But
Okay.
no, I haven't. Larson's done okay, but I just don't see it happening this year.
I think my picks for Indy. I yeah, as long as it's not Bubba, we don't need next last year. I gotta go towards Penske. I can't say Cendric because he's kind of just been MIA, but I do think Blaney and Logano are going to be a factor during this race. I mean, it doesn't really hurt that Penske owns the track, but I I don't really know. I feel like you're pretty spot on with the Denny Hamlin, the Christopher Bell. I feel like Briscoe, if he can get the setup, he'll be a factor. I mean, he was running pretty good at the end of North Wilkesboro. I think he finished third.
Now that may be true, Jason, but for some reason this year I just can't see it happening. I'm not saying
Yeah, I
they're
was.
bad, but I
Yeah,
just don't see their season going
I
the
would like
greatest
to
this
think
year.
Hendrick will
It's
do
been a tough
good, but
finish.
I don't know.
And I'm a Larson fan, bud. So I mean,
I,
I'm sitting here
I'm not
saying it,
a
but
I'm not as big as a fan as Russ is, but I mean if anybody is going to win from Hendrick at Indy, I gotta go Larson. I mean, because he's been there before. No Byron. I don't I
that's why I
see.
said 2024. I think William will do good. I forgot
I
all about William being on that team.
I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna put Hendrick drivers against each other, I do feel like Larson has the edge over Byron at Indy, just because he's been there in the Indy car in general. But
He's won
I
there before, but
he's won there before, but I don't know. I can't see. I don't see the level of competitiveness between Larson and Byron, going in Byron's favor. I do feel like Larson has the edge there, not by much, but I mean there is a little bit of a performance edge when it comes to that, pairing. I definitely feel like the Fords and the Toyotas are going to be a threat this weekend. I can't count out Kyle Larson as a Chevy, but then again, with this new body, it feels like this is going to be a rebuild year. They're going to get all their, information this year, and next year they're going to be an absolute weapon when it comes to the championship fight. I think they will. If they don't do good this year, next year will be an absolute slaughter of Chevy versus the rest of the teams. I feel like Chevy will come out guns a blazing and absolutely annihilate the schedule. I mean, they are the winningest, name in I think it's the winningest brand manufacturer in NASCAR. But it doesn't look like they're going to add to that total this year. I'm very much concerned with their performance. I'm really hoping it gets better, but I'm not holding my breath because I'll pass out before they win. It's
I'm
not looking
curious
great.
to see. I'm curious to see what Dodge does when they come back.
I still can't believe Colleague is trying to bring that back as soon as they are. I mean, we are about to end. You know who's. Yeah, I can't exactly argue that. There's always the third wheel or the fourth team at Hendrick. I do laugh because I forget the guy's name. He does the whole paint scheme preview and says this is your weekly reminder that Raleigh Herbst does exist. They should just do the weekly reminder that Alex Bowman does exist. Because I mean, you got Chase, you got Kyle, you got William, and then there's that 48 car. Went from being really, really relevant to that car is on track. I can't see Blake Harris doing much this weekend, or even Bowman to start with. Bowman has nothing but problems. I am kind of curious about the silly season rumors. Uh, oh my gosh, that's brutal. I'm not even gonna say that one. Yeah, I feel bad for Bowman, but the drop in performance this year is going to cost him his ride. He's kind of just been that fourth team. He hasn't really been a factor consistently at all. He's kind of just got lucky a few times. I mean, yeah. Sorry. Talking too much, running out of oxygen.
Yeah, we're running out of time. So
I kind of wish he'd be good. It's kind of like the meme of do something, poke him with the stick, do something. He hasn't been a productive racer, and it feels like forever. I don't think he's ever been productive at Hendrick. I still question why they brought him in. They brought him in to fill in for Dale Jr. when he got hurt, but I mean this hasn't really. It's top performance, not top performing driver.
It hasn't transpired into anything.
It hasn't done anything at all,
really. Man.
And that's the hard part is you can't. I'd love to be able to justify him, but I simply cannot justify, him driving that 48 car next year. I can't see it. It's really hard for me to argue in his favor when he's not good. He's not, performing like the team should be. I mean, in general, Chevy has dropped off, but it just magnifies how rough of a season that it's going to be for Alex Bowman. I mean, he was already out because he was hurt. I don't know. That's about all I had for NASCAR. It was a semi-uneventful week, but there was a lot of moments that got the excitement for me. So.
Well, the 2026 midseason motorsports landscape reveals a highly interconnected ecosystem where grassroots dirt racing and elite pavement series are no longer mutually exclusive domains, but rather some symbiotic components of a larger industrial machine. The analytical modeling of the data presented actually yields three primary macro level insights. The economic validation of the dirt to pavement pipeline, the rapid successful ascension of Corey Day into a full-time Hendrick Motorsports ride in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series validates the modern development theory that high horsepower, low downforce sprint car racing experience translates directly to stock car adaptability. As Day succeeds in the Xfinity / O'Reilly ranks, and Lane Riggs dominates the truck series via unmatched vehicle control, NASCAR executives will actually increasingly scout facilities like Fremont, Attica, Eldora, and so on, rather than relying solely on a traditional, highly sanitized pavement late model circuit. The raw car control required to navigate a rutted cushion at Eldora is now viewed as a prerequisite for navigating the chaotic restarts of modern NASCAR. Economic friction as a catalyst for product evaluation. While the civil war between the World of Outlaws and high limit racing has not cannibalized 410 sprint car racing as some pundits feared. Rather, it has injected unprecedented capital and leverage into the sport. While series executives argue over marketing saturation, drivers and team owners are reaping the benefits of million-dollar bonus pools, charter systems, and 100,000 to win midweek events. This financial viability ensures that elite talents do not have to migrate to NASCAR to make a lucrative living. A driver can now achieve generational wealth entirely on the dirt, which subsequently increases the depth of sprint car fields. The unpredictability of local expertise, while Bryce Lucius's victory at the Brad Doty Classic serves as a critical grounding reminder of the sport's foundational appeal. And despite the massive R&D budgets of national teams fielded by Kyle Larson, Tony Stewart, and Casey Kane, the highly technical, ever-changing nature of regional clay tracks still allows a local 19-year-old in a family-owned car to outmaneuver the greatest drivers on the planet. This localized unpredictability is the lifeblood of dirt track attendance matrix. Ultimately, whether watching Joey Logano master the tire management to secure a playoff berth, a chase berth, whatever you call it now, at North Wilkesboro, or witnessing Anthony Macri thread the needle at Eldora with a healing spine, mind you, the 2026 season stands as a testament to a golden era of parity, cross-discipline, talent, and economic growth in American motorsports. But that's going to wrap up this episode. Don't forget, we bring you recaps, breakdowns, and all those insane adrenaline-packed moments every week. Whether you live for those sideways, mudslinging, dirt track slide jobs, or the door-banging, paint-trading action in NASCAR, you belong here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a finish. Until next time, keep switching grooves. I'm Russ Fritz.
And I'm Nathan Johns.
We're staying to race hard.
Stay safe.
And we'll see you there.
Good night, everybody.